Hello, today I want to talk about some topics that I haven't been talking about before. Language learning and fluency. I've been talking to Joseph, a Croatian polyglot, lately, or a few minutes ago. I don't know if he really is a polyglot or not. You have to decide that for yourself, because we had a little conversation or well, discussion about it. How many languages do you have to know, maybe even besides your native language or languages, to call yourself or to have the right to call yourself a polyglot? So I mean, like, if you have two languages and you're a bilingual, that means you have been growing up with two languages at the same time. Like, you always learned two words from two languages for one and the same. Well, that was German, one and the same, for the same thing. And then you're bilingual. Let's say your parents were English and German, and there's also a definition for trilinguals. You have two different, or parents from two different nations or language backgrounds. Language backgrounds, and you're growing up in a country with a third language. So that means you're trilingual. So I think that polyglotry is beginning with 5 or 6 languages. Like 5 or 6 languages that you can speak fluently. And that's the next point. What is, if we define what a polyglot is, how do we define what a fluent speaker of a language is, or what is fluency? I mean, there has been a big discussion about this topic on YouTube by many different users over months or even years, and I don't want to do a roll-up again. I mean, like, there are many different definitions of fluency. If we refer to the European language reference level, I think you should know the language at a C1 or C2 level. I mean, that's C2 is a native speakers level, and well, so there's the question: how many years have you spent in a country where the target language is spoken? How many hours or years have you spent on the language, or learning the language? How many words do you know? Because you can't say you're fluent if you know just 250 words, enough for an introduction conversation, like hello, how are you, my name is blah blah, what's the weather, and so on. I mean, like, that's no fluency. So while we were talking about polyglossery and fluency, I had an idea. Like, fluency is when a native speaker of a language doesn't notice that you're a foreigner. I mean, like, that's a very very high status or level of knowing a language, because that implies you don't have an accent. That implies that you're thinking in the target language. Like, while you're speaking, you're not translating from your native language, or like, as for me, Croatian is my native language, as same as German, and I learned English over German, so to say. And let's say I also learned Russian, or I did learn Russian or over German, and I'm And I'm trying not to translate from German into Russian, but think and talk in Russian. Or think in Russian while I'm talking Russian. And well, you have to pronounce everything right. You have to soak up the mentality of the speakers of the language. So a native won't notice you're not from this country, or you're not a native speaker, or whatever. So I'd like to hear your opinion about it. Write something down in my inbox. Well, write me a message, or write a comment below. Subscribe and rate my video, please, and see you next time.